Is there a number? Is there a cash flow number? Is there a point where you're like, okay, we're good. My kids are good. My grandkids are good. I'm going to go buy that thing.
I don't like to buy things. I like to rent things that are depreciating assets. At least my car, that's really the only thing on the balance sheet that is probably a liability. We currently own a house that we are selling that I paid off a few years ago. We are currently building a new house that I would like to call our forever home for our family to grow into that I paid for in cash.
It's still in the Michigan area?
Yes, in Michigan. And when we travel, I'd rather rent an Airbnb in Monaco, to your point, than to have to buy the house in Monaco and maintain the house in Monaco and it's just, I'm a big believer in just keeping things simple. If I want to use a sports car, I'll go on Turo and I'll rent it for a day versus buying the Ferrari or the Porsche that I have to maintain and insure and everything else. I don't see the worth in the stress that comes with that.
Yeah, I think there's pros and cons to both. Especially, obviously, if it's a depreciating asset, then that's a different conversation. Yeah. But I will say this, I think Monaco's overrated. Okay, so first skip the line hack from Steven Silverman was live below your means. You make $100,000, $200,000, $300,000 in commission. Put aside your taxes. Don't go blow it on the thing that you want right now. Think long term when it comes to your money, your strategy, all of that. And if it's here today, make sure it grows as opposed to it's gone. That's me summarizing. Okay, do you have another one you want to throw at the listeners? Something that's going to help them skip the line in their career, Steve, that's helped you?
I think it's taking risk, and I think that's easier said than done. But realistically, like when I came into the business, I was given a computer and a phone, right? Like all I had to do was start making calls and using my sales acumen to put deals together. I compete with other brokers in my office. The other 50 brokers, some I work with on a regular basis, some I don't, because they're just focused on other stuff. I have the same hours in the day as they do, right? So when I say taking risk, it's calculated risk, but it's I'm going to make that phone call to the guy that I've never spoken to before and ask about his real estate. And if he's not interested, he's going to tell me he's not interested. Fortunately, in this business, not many people hang up on you. It's not like I use the Groupon example. I work with somebody who used to work at Groupon. That was a really hard sell process. But still, they took the risk to make the calls, and that's where they got to where they need to be. And you and I have the same amount of day as Bill Gates, as Elon Musk, as anyone else. I've recognized that I'm not going to be a billionaire in my life. That's okay. But I know that what I'm going to do to be focused and live below my means is taking the risk on a daily basis that I need to get ahead. And I think people that are younger, whether it's applying to the college that they thought they couldn't get into, or trying out for the sports team that they thought they couldn't. Actually, the worst thing that could happen if you're still alive at the end of the day and you're healthy, everything else is irrelevant. That's how I look at it.
I love that so much. I post about that kind of stuff all the time. I don't know if you follow me on any social or even see my posts on LinkedIn, but I'm a big proponent of going for it. I'm a big proponent of putting yourself out there, knocking on that door, making that phone call, because you're right. You're not going to die. And what's actually going to happen is the opposite. You're going to get better. And then you're going to learn something on that call. Hey, how was my tone? Hey, what time of day was it? Hey, was that person busy? Were they not busy? And you start to essentially get better and better by getting those reps. And then over time, your closing ratio goes up. And what happens is your time becomes more and more valuable, as we were talking about, because you're more experienced.
It's not rocket science. The amount of people that spend hours or years of their life talking about what they want to do or what they should have done and didn't just act. It's an epidemic, right? I mean, it's a mental epidemic, unfortunately, where we are, for some reason, instilled to think we can't do something without even trying to do it or without even getting to know.
Yeah, it's so interesting.
Let them say no to know that you have to regret later in life that you didn't make the call to hear no.
Shout out book, Go for No. Really, really good sales book.